It doesn't matter how far you run. There are some podcasts you can't escape. It's Harmless Phosphorescence. Hello, everybody. This is Throw Smiley, and I did a bare-ass triple flip 360 in front of 22,000 people. Who's joining me this week?
Hi, I'm Josh CC, and I've been carrying around this bread for a while.
Merry Christmas, you assholes. I'm Brian Lash.
Scraping at the door! It's Alaric Weber.
Those are both the minutes.
And this is Harmless Phosphorescence. It's the podcast where we watch every theatrically released full-length live-action superhero movie ever made. We gather some research into the production and the source material, then we tell you all about it. And guys, did you know that in addition to being live on YouTube every week, we are a podcast. So you can go to Apple Podcasts. You can go to the podcast app of your choice and rate us. Rate and review us. We really appreciate it. It helps other people find us. So it's the easy, free way that you can help support our show here without having to drop a dime. So thanks everybody for listening. And this week on Harmless Phosphorescence, we are watching Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
This thing. There's no conscience. Just hunger. The rider's going to come out. And when he does, he'll destroy whoever's got it coming.
He'll take on a new form. One more powerful than he's ever known.
I'm not afraid of you.
We should be.
What if you have to pee while you're on fire?
Oh, it's awesome.
I can't believe they had the pee part in the trailer.
I can't believe
made the
it.
trailer. That's incredible. Oh my god.
Oh my lord. Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance.
A little PSA, if it's like a flamethrower when you pee, you should probably see a doctor.
Oh gosh, yes.
Drink more water, too. That's for sure.
Get it fixed.
Yeah, that is not healthy, guys.
And when this trailer was running on TV, I bet Batman or Bruce Wayne was at home going, "Oh yeah, the darkest hero ever."
Yeah.
Did you watch your parents die in an alleyway? Because I've seen it dozens of times.
Do you become the darkness?
Meanwhile, Superman's like, my whole planet, Bruce. Entire planet.
I got bills at
Asshole.
the farm.
We all got trauma,
Super
dick.
bills.
Yeah. Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance, released February 17th, 2012. Running time in 95 minutes. It cost $75 million and took in $132 million at the box office. So
Really?
yeah, it didn't do bad. It was so to put that in Ghost Rider 1 to put that in focus. Ghost Rider 1 cost $110 million and took in $228 million. So this was a huge step down both in budget and box office, but it still did fine. It made its money.
Wow, they did a lot more with a lot less. I'm impressed.
They really did. I don't know how much of the 110 in the first one went to Eva Mendes.
Well, and it wasn't a huge gap in time. But Peter Fonda, probably took
Yeah.
a chunk of money. But technology was getting better in such short spans of time. So probably getting cheap.
Yeah, the Ghost Rider effects in this one looked so much better.
They did.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was remarkable how much better from the first one.
Even the practical stuff looked better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
It really did. Yeah, this movie looked better than the first one. They dropped a ton of the cheese from the 2007 one. But I was wondering, fellas, you guys ready to play the box office top 10 game?
Let's do it.
That means yes.
Yes.
Thought you stepped on a Lego.
All right. This is the game where the guys are going to try to guess where this movie opened in the top 10 of the week of February 17th, 2012. And then I'm going to read the descriptions of the top 10 movies. And the guys are going to try to guess each one of those based on the description I read. So, guys, let's see. We'll start with Brian. Brian, where do you think this movie opened?
So February 17th
Yes.
was when this movie was released. So this is a Valentine's-ish Day weekend for the late boyfriend to take his partner out to. I'm going to guess number 3.
All right,
There
Brian.
was probably some romantic movie that came out about a girl and her dog or something.
How to lose your dog in 10 days.
You just leave the door open.
I've left the door
gonna take
open.
10
It took
days.
10 days for the dog to leave.
Don't worry.
But
can
if
cut
you
that
leave the
down.
door open, and a little while later, there'll be some scratching at the door. At the door.
I lost my dog and I got Nick Cage.
Oh my God.
I'd like my dog back, please.
Well, let me play with Nick Cage for a while.
He likes scratches.
He's
more of a cat.
He's a sexy
A
cat.
sexy
You're
cat.
right. He is more of a cat. That makes sense to me, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think of him more as like a pet tarantula. You don't want to handle him for too long.
I feel like he's got like ferret energy. I don't know.
Sometimes he's an actor, man.
He's a chameleon. So, all right. So Brian's guessing number 3. Al, where do you think it opened?
Okay, so Valentine's Day week. I think everybody went to go see the romantic movie 3 days before, and now they want some action. Number 1, and plus all the lonely people
Okay.
Yeah.
Al says number 1 with a bullet.
that have the spirit of vengeance in them.
I was going to say. Those are vengeance flowers I sent you.
Vengeance flowers.
So number 1 says he.
Yeah. Al's guessing number 1. Josh, what do you think?
Well, I'll go with 2.
I was gonna say it's right there. It's waiting for you.
All right.
know.
So we got
So
1, 2,
mad.
and 3 guessing there. All right. So here we go. We're jumping in. So there's a few of these that were on our last episode. We haven't gone that far in time. So I'm just going to give us a quick rundown of the top 20. Let's see. Number 20. A detective is on the trail of a criminal mastermind who is carrying out a string of random crimes across Europe. That could not be more vague.
Is it a James Bond movie?
No.
Is it a Sherlock Holmes movie?
It is.
Mm.
Which Sherlock Holmes movie?
Sherlock Holmes?
No. Sherlock
What
Holmes.
was the other one? Like Shadows? Or...
A game of
Yeah.
shadows. A game of shadows.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Shadows.
A game of shadows.
Is this the Robert Downey Jr. one?
Yep, the
The
sequel.
second?
Yeah.
Oh, I just recently saw the first one for the first time.
It's
Yeah, it's very Guy Ritchie.
very Guy Ritchie, yeah.
It's not the thinking man Sherlock.
Yeah, I was not as impressed as I was told I was going to be.
I mean, when it came out, what was it, like 9 or 10? 2009,
I think so,
2010? Somewhere
Mhm.
around there. Like, it was very like, hey, it's a refreshing take. But then I don't know, it didn't age well, I feel like.
Yeah.
No.
All right, so number 19 was one we had last week, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. 18 was one we had last week. One for the Money. That's the one with Katherine Heigl, where she's a bail bondsman.
Oh, yeah.
Number 17 we had last week, Underworld Awakening. And number 16, an elderly Margaret Thatcher talks to the imagined presence of her recently deceased husband as she struggles to come to terms with his death. While scenes from her past life, from girlhood to British Prime Minister, intervene.
Her past life? Like she's Patton, like reliving ancient battles, like the Roman battlefield?
I guess.
Is this the Iron Woman?
Close, the Iron Lady.
Iron Lady.
I thought it was
a lady.
I thought it was.
She's got style. She's got grace.
I really thought this was gonna be a MCU movie.
Iron Lady.
Wow.
Margaret Thatcher in an Iron Man costume. Oh, yeah. The 80s would have been very different.
But War Machine would have been appropriate.
Reagan in the War Machine costume.
Right. Number 15 we had last week. It was Red Tails. Number 14, Hugo. We had that down there. Number 13. Okay. An egomaniacal film star develops a relationship with a young dancer. This film won Best Picture.
Is this Black Swan?
No.
Black Swan?
No.
Oh.
It is a silent black and white film.
Oh, shit. This is...
The Artist?
The Artist, yes.
Yeah.
That was a weird one.
I never saw it.
Yeah. 12 was Big Miracle. We had that before. 11 was The Descendants. 10 was The Gray. Number 9 was The Woman in Black. We had all of those last week. And then number 8, opening this week. The Clock family are 4-inch tall people who live anonymously in another family's residence. So they're squatters. Borrowing simple items to make their home. Life changes for the Clocks when their teenage daughter is discovered.
Is this Parasite?
If they were 4 inches tall, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it The Littles?
It's the same thing.
That's an older show.
Yeah.
The Collectors?
No.
Watchers?
The small people?
Well, I think... So these are all based on the same property, which I think was The Borrowers. Was that the name of it? Like the books,
yeah, that's what I
the
meant
book
to
series?
say.
Oh.
That was the book series I think The Littles were based off of, and this one. This is called The Secret World of Ariadne.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah. Number 7, 3 high school friends gain superpowers after making an incredible discovery in a hole.
Even the description is a teenage metaphor. Chronicle.
Yeah, that was... number 6, this is a good one. 2 warriors escape a hostile blockade to find allies and come across a young boy who may have powers, but a long dormant evil resurfaces to claim their original glory.
Oh.
This is not the Phantom Menace, but it could be.
I thought it was Children of Men for a second, but then, yeah, quick. He might have powers. He might be giants. I don't know.
Brian, you were exactly wrong. It is the 3D re-release of episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Is it?
Yeah, it was the 3D re-release, the 2012 3D re-release.
Holy shit.
This close, man. This close.
I went and saw it with Jude when it came out. It was terrible. The 3D looked awful. Yeah.
What a great phrase, Thoreau. You are exactly wrong.
Yes, thank you.
It is a good phrase.
He was. He could not have been more wrong.
Because I said this is not the Phantom Menace.
Yes, that's the only thing that could possibly not be more wrong. Opening at number 5 this week is a new one this week. CIA operatives wage an epic battle on each other when they discover they're dating the same woman.
Oh, that's a euphemism.
It looks like we got a Chris Pine in here.
Oh,
It's like Vince Vaughn. What was this?
it sounded serious until
I can't tell, but I think the blonde lady might be Zellweger. No, not Zellweger.
I can't tell. This is my favorite throw, is looking at a picture that he can't see clearly.
It's so tiny.
And when you started, you were like CIA operatives. I thought of like a crew of them, but then you're like, oh, we're the same woman.
Yeah, it may be. I can't tell who the blonde lady is, but there's a 2000s era blonde lady in it.
Love and Quantico. Or Langley. I guess that's
This means war.
Oh. Love and waterboarding.
loving the time of waterboarding.
Oh, God. That was what, 2003 through 2005?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah, there was a date when we started using this.
Wow. You know.
It's literally making someone think they're drowning.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a date that it ended, technically.
Or started.
Yeah. Okay. Opening at number 4. Tortured by a curse, a man gets a chance of redemption through protecting the devil's son, whose father is pursuing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ghost Rider, opening at number 4. Everybody overshot it.
Spirit of Vengeance.
Brian was closest. Now, the 3 movies which beat it, none of these opened this week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all of these are at least in their second week. Yeah. Yeah, all of them opened last week. So, number 3. Okay. This description. Sean Anderson partners with his mom's husband. On a mission.
Finally.
It's like I should know who Sean Anderson is.
Yes, I hate when they...
It's from the Anderson verse.
Yeah, you know. He's Mr. Anderson.
He's one of the Seans, you know. On a mission to find his grandfather, who is thought to be missing on a mythical island.
Fool's Errand.
This is a sequel.
Is this one of those Narnia movies?
No.
Oh, no, this is
It stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh. Not Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Close-ish.
Part 2?
Journey 2, the Mysterious Island.
Journey to the colon at the center of the earth.
Yeah. That's where it would be.
Down there.
Yeah.
You got to get it checked.
Yeah.
Number 2 this week. A car accident puts Paige in a coma. And when she wakes up with severe memory loss, her husband Leo works to win her heart again. This was the Valentine's Day movie.
About a chick in a coma, girlfriend in a coma. I know.
Start. Yeah. Good.
Girlfriend in a coma.
Ooh, yeah.
We're getting lots of stuff done.
Starring Channing Tatum and Rachel McAdams, getting lots of stuff done. It'd be like, I went to the bank. I got some new shoes. I got a haircut.
I played 450 hours of Minecraft.
Yep.
Stars
organized all the bullshit you don't like.
It stars Channing Tatum and Rachel McAdams.
What was this movie called? My girlfriend's in a coma.
That is the question.
It's called
Wake Up a Little Susie.
It's called The Vow.
Wow.
The Vow. All right. And number 1. A young CIA agent is tasked with... This is like the 3rd movie that starts with CIA.
Let me just guess. Is he here to fight the other 2 CIA agents that are fighting over their girlfriend?
Yeah.
No.
It's like a Rashomon third perspective.
Okay, so a young CIA agent is tasked with looking after a fugitive in a safe house. But when the safe house is attacked, he finds himself on the run with his charge.
Is it Safe House?
Yes, it's Safe House. That's
Who's our
we got Denzel and what's his face, Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
Reynolds, right?
Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
Canadian lad.
Young Canadian lad who made good. And that is our box office top 10 for the week. That brings us to our character and comic book background. Mr. Alaric Weber, what can you tell us about these characters and the crazy hijinks they get into?
Al needs theme music.
I'm thinking Family Feud. I don't know. We'll figure out something.
So we've already talked about Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider. I guess his name's going to come up when I talk about Ray Kerrigan. So I guess I'll start with Danny Ketch just real shortly. That was the name of the kid in this movie. Danny Ketch was the third Ghost Rider after the Old West hero was the first Ghost Rider, and then Johnny Blaze was the second Ghost Rider, but the first one on the motorcycle. Danny Ketch was actually the brother of, like, the long lost brother of Johnny Blaze, so they were related. And same powers. I don't have much more to say about him because he's not really in this movie. And then the only other new character from the comics was Ray Kerrigan, also known as Blackout. I don't think they said that in this film.
No,
they never said the name.
But this character first appeared in Ghost Rider Volume 3, Number 2, June of 1990, created by Howard Mackey and Javier Saltares.
Was he an arms dealer as well? Pardon me.
Well, he is a human-demon hybrid.
So he gets really good mileage.
Yeah. He has superhuman strength, speed, durability, and reflexes. Has the psionic ability to extinguish visible light in his vicinity. He has mechanically enhanced teeth and fingernails.
Wait, I have mechanically enhanced teeth. I mean,
Yeah.
I love that he can dim
braces?
lights. Like, that's a power that everybody's dad wished they had. I walk into a room and the lights dim. Like, yes. If it also brought down the thermostat. it would
Yeah,
be
I can control every thermostat with a thought.
Blackout is depicted as having an albino-esque complexion and extreme physical sensitivity to light.
That's where he gets his name.
Yes.
No way.
Well, that and blacking out the light around him.
I mean, I was known as Blackout for a while, but that had more to do with,
Yes,
with the
here.
vodka than anything else.
No recollection
more
of those
powers.
events.
Worse powers, but more.
Blackout is initially employed by demonic crime lord Deathwatch as an enforcer and assassin. During his second battle
It's
with
nice
the
he can work.
Danny, during his second battle with the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, Blackout's face is disfigured by Hellfire when he tried to bite through the Ghost Rider's jacket.
Okay.
You can't really bite through most jackets.
Well, he's got the mechanically enhanced teeth.
Oh, here. So that goes to leather, motorcycle leather.
But yeah, his face was badly burned. This caused him to become Ghost Rider's sworn archenemy.
Wow, sworn.
Yeah.
I mean, just be a judge.
Did Ghost Rider take him up on that, or was just like, nah, bro, I got other archenemies?
Yeah, I mean,
Is it weird that I'm your best friend, but you're not my best friend?
right? Like when you become arch enemies, do you both have to agree on that? Be like, so we are arch enemies now? I don't think so, man. Like, I got a lot to do. I don't think so. I'd be like, fine. No, you're really my arch enemy.
I already have a nemesis. I don't need another one.
Upon learning Ghost Rider's true identity, Ray Kerrigan murdered Danny Ketch's sister Barbara and several of his acquaintances. Over the years, Blackout would do battle with the likes of Morbius, Blade, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man. The movie writers, they said that they only used the appearance of this character for the movie, giving him completely different powers. And I didn't notice it the first time I watched it, what was going on with the Blackout, because they had the scenes where it would just get dark all around him. I think that wasn't well explained, but it was there and it looked kind of cool.
It looks cool. It was very. It was difficult to understand what exactly was happening at first.
Yeah, it seemed like a stylistic choice. That was actually his power.
Yeah,
blacking out.
That's what I thought too. That it was a stylistic choice, but that was actually part of his power. It's very quickly explained when Rourke gives him he says he has the powers of decay, and then comma of darkness, and then he attacks that EMT guy, and it all goes black. But the power of decay,
which is one of my
the power of decay is new for this movie.
It's a cool power.
Yeah.
And I just believed it because, it's sort of like Horsemen of the Apocalypse kind of way. In the first one, they had those elemental type bad guys as well, right?
Yeah.
Like wind and shit. And like
yeah, it was like
rocks. And...
Yeah. It was like cold.
Earth, wind, and
fire. Yeah, that's who it was.
Like whenever they come around, I can't help but remember. Anyways,
we'll celebrate. Don't worry.
That's the end of this segment.
All right. Thank you, Al.
I'm sorry, Josh.
Wait, does Moreau exist in the comic book?
No, he does not.
Oh, okay.
Nor does Nadia.
Nadia. Okay. All right. So, thank you, Al. That brings us to the film itself, the film's production history and background. So, basically, they immediately after the first one announced the development for Ghost Rider 2. Peter Fonda said he was happy to return as Mephistopheles. Peter Fonda is a liar.
I read that he actually got this. He received the script and after reading the first 5 pages, turned it down.
Wow. Really? But
that's weird.
But the first one, he was like, yes, this is fine. Okay, whatever.
Well, and good a time as any. I think I agree with you, Thoreau. We said it in our chat, but that this feels like a soft reboot rather than a sequel to the first one.
Absolutely.
That makes a lot of sense to me.
If it were not Nick Cage as Ghost Rider, I think it would have been a straight up reboot.
Yeah, good point. Like they did with Punisher.
Yeah.
So many times.
Yeah.
Considering Peter Fonda, the writers actually said that it was fortunate for him to turn it down because they did want to showcase how the devil switched bodies. So it might have been tricky if Peter Fonda had returned.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
I think it was probably money. I think he probably just didn't get offered what he wanted and was like, nope, don't need to do it. So there's not a whole lot of background to this. They decided to make it. They had brought people on, and it took a few years to get it done. It was directed by Neveldine and Taylor, Mark Neveldine and Brian Taylor. We have spoken of them previously. They directed Jonah Hex. No, I'm sorry. They wrote Jonah Hex. They did not direct it. They wrote Jonah Hex. They were the writers and directors for the Crank franchise. The Jason Statham one, not the Christmas at the.
Yeah, crank. Oh, okay.
Right. So yeah. Let's see. We've got writers. We've got a few. Scott M. Gimple and Seth Hoffman. They both are best known for their work on the Walking Dead series. That's the biggest thing they did. They worked on. They did a lot of TV stuff, but mostly Walking Dead. And I feel like we need to have a music cue for this one. Writing credit to David S. Goyer.
Yeah.
Again.
Always, always, always.
Yeah. Every one of these things, man, this dude has his fingers in. We've got Nick Cage coming back to star as Johnny Blaze. Johnny Whitworth stars as Rake Harrigan. He was the main dude in Empire Records. Yeah, he was in let's see, he was in Limitless, The Rainmaker. What's he been doing recently? Nothing much recently. Yeah. The 100 and CSI Miami. So
That's getting checks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's getting paid. Fergus Riordan is Danny Ketch. Fergus is best known as Danny Ketch in Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
He's best known for getting bullied for the name Fergus.
Yeah, I was going to say that is an unfortunate name.
Yeah. He had one role after this. This was his final film role, except for one. In 2015, he played the role of Bastion in a movie called Don't Grow Up. So he's basically stopped working in the industry.
Once he stopped growing.
Yeah. Kieran Hines as Mephistopheles / Rourke. He has been. This dude has been around. He's got a really, really long filmography. His first feature role was in Excalibur, the 1981 film. Let's see, he was in Mary Riley, Jason, the 2000 Jason and the Argonauts, Sum of All Fears, Road to Perdition, Veronica Guerin, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life. I know him best, probably personally, as Mance Rayder, the leader of the Wildlings from Game of Thrones.
Ah, that's where I recognized his face from.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen him in a lot of things.
He's a noted character actor. He does a ton of work.
He was the voice of Steppenwolf in the Justice League.
Yes.
Oh.
So we will be seeing him again in
We'll be hearing him again.
Justice League and Zack Snyder's Justice League.
And Justice League Gray.
Oh. Let's see. Violante Placido as Nadia. She is an Italian actress. Most of her credits are Italian movies. Which
Violante?
I have. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, not much in English. She was in The American, the 2010 George Clooney flick, and this one. Those are her two biggest American credits. Then Idris Elba as Moreau. We've had him before, right? What has he been in? We've covered.
He was in one.
What was that, Al?
What?
Thor.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it was a
of
Thor.
course, it's him.
Okay. Christopher Lambert as Methodius. What the hell was he doing in this movie? That was weird. But best known as a Highlander, he was Tarzan in Greystoke, Legend of Tarzan. So I read Christopher Lambert did 3 months of sword training for this film specifically. I'd like to point out he wields a sword for roughly 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember much of that.
Yeah.
Did he forget all his sword training from Highlander?
Highlander. He was
Right.
in 3 Highlander movies.
He just takes movie roles to get training.
Yeah.
To get specialized training.
He's like,
Just do this for
he's like,
martial arts training.
He's like,
man.
you know what? I think that my My character is really into pottery too. I need to take some pottery classes. You'll pay for that, right?
Right.
I'm signed up for Spanish at the community college. Can you cover that one too?
The adult annex.
So yeah. Then we've got Anthony Stewart Head as Benedict, best known as Rupert Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Mr. Tony Head.
Yeah, and I just want to say that I would believe any occult bullshit that comes out of his mouth.
Anything.
That
dude can say anything, and I will believe.
Prophecy, curse. Yeah, you got it, Giles. Whatever you say.
One of my favorite Buffy moments is still when Xander's reading through a book and he's like, "What does this mean?" Blah 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 blah, and it bursts into flames. And Giles just shakes his head and says, "Don't speak Latin in front of the book, Xander."
I'm just sad that in this movie he didn't have glasses and like take them off and polish them while he was talking down to Moreau.
Yes.
The only monk in like a tweed jacket. Corduroy slack.
Oh, his sleeves did have the patch.
Oh, nice. The leather patch. Yeah.
Oh, Homer, you ruined 2 coats.
Sorry, that was a lie.
Right. Rounding out our cast, we've got Jason Goman as Terekoff. I don't even know who that was. Vincent Regan as Toman Nikesevich. Were these people in this movie?
Is that the guy who would always like unfold his gun? Is that the unfolding gun guy?
I think
that was Spencer Wilding as Granick.
Vincent Regan was the guy who they roughed up to find out where Kerrigan was.
Door.
Yeah. Scratching at the door.
Scraping, which I always thought was
scraping.
Weird.
I thought it was scratching. Scraping at the door.
Scratching makes more sense, right?
Yeah, scraping at the door. All right, so yeah, that's it. There's not a lot. They just decided to make this movie, and then they made it. It has 18% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I don't feel is fair.
Before we get into that and reviews, I had a fun fact about production. Nicolas Cage showed up on set with like full Baron Samedi makeup when he was doing the Ghost Rider CGI scenes to feel more in character.
Awesome.
But he like surprised the crew just showing up with skull makeup.
Yeah.
Nice.
That he did at home.
As his, one day he messes it up and he's like a kitty cat.
Yeah, he just does Peter Criss from Kiss.
Yeah, there weren't a ton of very interesting reviews on this one. Like I said, about half of them seemed to be like, this movie's terrible, and half of them were like, this movie isn't as bad as everybody says. So,
I mean, it deserves higher than 18%, but the third act does kind of implode, so it might have left people.
Yeah, it's not a good movie, but it was strangely entertaining. But around halfway through, it kind of just came to a standstill, and then kind of went off the rail, like implode is
right from that ritual on.
Even before, once they got to the monks, the Christopher Lambert monks, I was just like,
the pacing started to fall apart. Yeah.
But up until that moment, it was like boom, bang, go. Like we were on a ride.
Yeah, yes.
So the one review I have is Sebastian on July 10th, 2017 wrote, has a few ups and downs, 3.5 stars. So
I like this stuff.
Thank you for telling me nothing useful of any sort, Sebastian.
5 years later.
Yeah, 5 years after the movie came out. So that's it, guys. That's all I got for our background and reviews.
It's like waiting 5 years to be like, sandwiches are all right.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not great,
but they're good. I can go for them or not. It doesn't matter. You guys ready to jump into the movie?
You should be.
You should be.
Because we're all scraping at the door.
All right, guys, here we go. This is Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. We open on Eastern Europe, I guess.
Sorry. This was under the Marvel Knights banner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
This was the second and last Marvel Knights movie. The first one was Punisher Warzone.
Huh.
Oh, yeah. The first one wasn't on Marvel Knights, was it?
No.
Hmm.
But still Avi Arad, right?
Yeah, Avi Arad.
Yeah.
Feige didn't really have much to do with this one.
Well, and are they still going to release the Morbius movie?
Oh yeah, it's done. It's made. It's coming out
Right.
at some point.
And I know that
Jared
that's
Leto
probably
got paid.
Sony, right? Because it's Spider-Man property.
Yeah, that's a Sony
Yeah.
one.
But it'd be cool if that and Venom had been under Marvel Knights, just because.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they would. Yeah, they would have fit. They clearly decided to just junk the branding of that, though. So, all right, a man named Moreau arrives via motorcycle at a monastery.
Yeah, the island of Father Moreau.
It took me a few scenes to realize he was supposed to be French because his accent went from non-existent to Pepe Le Pew, like constantly.
Vengeance.
Yeah. Idris Elba should apparently not ever attempt a French accent.
Yeah.
Let's see. They've got a boy and his mom that they're keeping safe. They're immediately after saying they're safe, they're attacked by a group of mercenaries.
They mention that in a few days it'll be the winter solstice, and
They're going to go to a corn maze.
But like the danger will be over or something like that. The the hour of the prophecy will be over. But okay, if the winter solstice is in a few days, why is this mountain not covered in snow?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
and-
Was it summer solstice? Did they say winter specifically?
Winter. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, and they identify the location as Romania a few times, and if you were watching with captions, it would even say "speaking Romanian." But yeah, where is this place?
Where are any of these places?
Is this on Tatooine? And then after they do their shit with the priest, then they're back in this Romanian countryside on the highway and stuff.
Yeah. It's,
So yeah, this location was a little.
Yeah. Well, okay, because they shot in several places across the. Let's see.
But I'm with Al. There would have been snow if it was all in that same area, but
Yeah.
it seemed like Tunisia or something.
Yeah. Let's see. They shot both in Romania and Turkey.
Okay, so that's Turkey.
Yeah. Yeah. Clearly, any place.
I would say this was Romania.
Are you joking or
No, the monastery. I would imagine that it's
those like beehive type. This monastery is in Romania.
Oh, the later monastery.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
would be in Turkey, I would imagine. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, let's see. They're attacked by a group of mercenaries led by a man named I put Cardigan. Carrigan.
Such a lazy villain name.
Yeah, Carrigan. Carrigan is then attacked by Tanya Harding. Timely jokes. That's what I'm about. They kill a bunch of monks, and the mother and son, named Danny and Nadia, flee by car. I'd like to point out that this Romanian gypsy woman named Nadia named her kid Danny.
I think the devil's like, I want him named Danny.
Danny Ketch. There's no more of a Romani name than Ketch.
Yeah. Sounds like he's from like Orange County.
Yeah.
Yeah. Danny Ketch.
Yeah. So Moreau tries to help them
And
get...
his accent sounds like he's from Orange County.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
A number of my unanswered questions have to do with the accents and the
He grew
prevalence.
up stateside.
Yeah, the prevalence of the
He was
prevalence
an
of,
army brat.
yeah, the prevalence of English speaking, American accented, and American looking buildings and signs everywhere, because Romania is known to have for a string of American style truck stops with English signage.
If
Anyway,
you've ever been, you'd know.
yeah.
You'd know.
So all right.
I've got Romania.
I'm crazy for Rome. Rome mania. All right. So Moreau helps them get away despite them being resistant to his help. Then we cut to a credit sequence. We get some cagey voiceover explaining the backstory of Ghost Rider, and apparently Jerry Springer's evil.
Yeah.
Well, in his bare ass multiple times.
Yes.
All of that, yeah, the cartoon. Well, yeah, and the art of the deal, essentially. I know Trump wasn't, but yeah, it all comes down to the deal.
The deal. Yeah. So then we cut to Johnny Blaze. He's hiding out in Romania, apparently. Moreau arrives, tries to convince Blaze to find the boy and his mother to help protect them and escort them to a super extra special monastery, way better than the other monastery they were just at. Where they'll all be safe. Moreau tells Johnny that he'll be able to sense the boy because of the demonic spirit that is in him. He offers to help get the rider out of Blaze in return after it's all done. Johnny says, "No, man, I ain't doing that."
One of my favorite moments of the whole movie was when Moreau and Johnny basically first meet, and he says, "My brothers are dead, as should I be, if not for the intervention of God." And that quick cut to him hanging out in the tree,
Yeah. Yeah.
was just a really funny beat.
It was. Yeah, there was a lot of humor. There was a lot of little wry bits of humor in this film that I appreciated. Like, did you guys notice the ongoing joke of every time Kerrigan was driving in a car, there was like a funny pop song playing low behind him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't know, but now I do. Yeah, and it allowed Nick Cage to come and bring the Nick Cage we all love. There has to be a little bit of that weird humor.
Yeah, yeah,
for him to come
absolutely.
out of his shell.
Absolutely. And yeah, and the stylistic approach of like the sudden like the freezing and then like back and forth matrixy, like going around people and stuff. Like it was a much more interesting film than the first one stylistically.
And there were a couple times where in that sort of like blackness, the Ghost Rider moved in that sort of Korean horror movie way where it's like where they scutter from side to side. And I thought that was really cool because that's freaky.
Yeah, well, yeah, and the Ghost Rider like skull looked so much better. Like,
yeah,
like
it was cool.
He looked like a Scooby-Doo villain in the first one, but like this time, it looked genuinely cool.
It was like charred black
Mm-hmm.
instead of the bright shiny white. I guess because it's supposed to be like 8 years after the first movie.
Yeah,
time wise.
I imagine a raw skull takes a beating. Yeah.
It takes a while to age properly.
Yeah, after that sun bleached look, there's clearly the charred look comes next.
Yeah. So
and then bangs.
Yeah, bangs. Cut to a restaurant where Danny and Nadia are grifting a stupid American businessman who's trying to cheat on his wife.
He's British.
He was British?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But little do they know, they're being followed by Kerrigan. Nancy Kerrigan. Every time I thought of Nancy
time.
Kerrigan, they said his name every time.
But Cardigan is funnier.
Yeah. That night, while driving, they're run off the road by Kerrigan, who has a romantic history with Nadia. We discover he's going to kill her and take Danny, who he's been hired to retrieve. Meanwhile, Johnny gets all cagey and turns into the rider.
Cagey.
He cages it up. Let's see. He speeds to the place where Nadia and Danny are. He kills a bunch of Kerrigan's guys, but Kerrigan manages to knock him out of commission with an RPG launcher.
They called them slug throwers.
They called them slug throwers?
Yeah.
It wasn't a rocket-propelled grenade?
Yeah, it was a grenade launcher, but just they called them slug throwers.
I mean, technically, any rifle is a slug. Any weapon,
Everything's-
like
yeah, those are
like because a slug is That was a grenade. A grenade's not a slug.
A slug thrower sounds like a derogatory term you'd say to someone in like feudal England.
Don't throw slugs at me.
Slug thrower.
But like that's what they call like the weapons in Star Wars, the ones that like shoot a bullet because it's a metal slug.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe these
right.
are actual slugs, like exploding
demonic slugs.
slugs. You know?
Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Strangely. Strangely.
That's why I'm here.
Kerrigan
Oh,
knocks.
but there was that cool shot. It was in this scene, right? It was in the trailer too, where the dude just fires so many Uzi bullets.
That's later.
Oh, it is later?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
God, I
yeah,
liked
yeah.
that. All right.
Into
Cool.
That's
okay.
that's at the quarry.
Down
This
at the
felt quarry-ish. I don't know.
quarry. Well,
Yeah, the quarry.
Well, yeah,
I know
no,
where that is.
that
You
what's
do?
yeah, they're in Romania, and these like Nick Cage is clearly American, and he's like they're down at the quarry. They're down at the quarry, and Nick Cage is like, oh, the quarry, okay.
Yeah, the
I know
quarry.
the quarry.
As if they're 13-year-olds who go down there to,
Yeah.
swim and jump in the water,
And
down
it-
at the quarry.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, we're jumping ahead of ourselves. All right. So, Kerrigan manages to knock the Ghost Rider out of commission, and he escapes with Danny, but not with Nadia. Cut to the next morning. Johnny wakes up in the hospital. He's really bad at flirting with nurses. Like, what was that?
Yeah.
That was the most Nick Cage bullshit I've ever seen.
Well, he switches from flirting to where are all your heavy drugs.
Yeah. Well,
Real
yeah. It is.
toxic.
But just like his line delivers on that, are you an angel or am I dead? Like dude.
When you came in, I thought I was still dreaming. Oh, you have hallucinate?
Much hallucinate.
All right. So he's healed up from his wounds from the night before. He makes a quick getaway before the cops can question him. And on the way out, he spots Nadia. Meanwhile, Kerrigan contacts Rourke, the current incarnation of the demon Mephistopheles. And the guy who hired him. He tells him that he wants more money because of Ghost Rider. Rourke.
And he says, we don't change the terms of the deal, which is a devil thing to say because obviously they do.
Constantly.
But then Rourke also seems surprised to hear about the flaming head guy on the motorcycle. He's like, oh shit. Put Danny on.
Just like, listen, Danny, you're going to hear some weird shit from this guy about me.
He's going to say I created him.
But I want you to know it's all bullshit. We're cool. You and I are cool.
I'm your real dad.
Yeah. So, Rourke casts a spell so that Ghost Rider can't sense the kids anymore. The most movie bullshit way of like, it's like a computer. You know computers.
Yeah.
It's a firewall.
What was with that? That's such like I get why they did it, but that didn't have to happen for the story.
Or it should have happened much earlier. Do you know what I mean? Like, he seems surprised that the Ghost Rider's out there working, but he's able to make it so the Ghost Rider can't see Danny.
Yeah, well, I mean,
he decided to wait until the Ghost Rider showed up.
I understand why it had to happen for the story because we start with, we have Moreau telling Nick Cage that Nick Cage can sense the boy. So if Nick Cage can just sense the boy, he can just go straight to him. So we have to have a way for Nick Cage not to be able to sense the boy, whereas he needed to be able to sense him in the first scene.
Well, maybe this is an unanswered question, but I'm going to ask it now. Why didn't Rourke do this thing to himself?
Oh, that's good too. Good question.
You know?
Well, I mean, was Ghost Rider able to find Rourke? Was he able? Because I don't think
that's how he tracked him later, right?
No. They just Idris Elba
They
knew
just happened to be at the same place.
No, Idris Elba knew where the thing was going to be. Knew where the special rite was going to be taking place. He mentioned
at Red Rocks.
Yeah, he mentioned it was going to be like
after Dave Matthews Band plays.
It's the place that's furthest from heaven on earth. So apparently, we're lucky that's all in Romania.
Lucky for us.
Yeah. So all right. Let's see. Johnny Blaze confronts Nadia, who reluctantly agrees to accept his help finding Danny. On the way, she explains that Danny is the son of Mephistopheles. She made a deal with him to save her life, and he wanted a son in return. Then we get another Johnny Blaze voiceover. He tells us that Rourke needs emissaries when he's on Earth to do his work, as he's weak when he's in immortal form.
Yeah, and he's in a pretty old one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently he couldn't have been in it more than 8 years because he used to be Peter Fonda.
Yeah, how did he not like take on like The Rock or like Arnold Schwarzenegger or someone who is like physically menacing? It's like, nah, I'm just gonna be this old man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They showed images of his past possessions. Vlad the Impaler, Idi Amin. I think it was Joseph Goebbels, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah. Stalin.
Stalin was there. I think the clown was John Wayne Gacy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
And of course,
Really
Jerry Springer.
niche.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like-
I mean, he becomes John Wayne Gacy and then like what, just gets arrested? Like
yeah.
he's Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer's still alive. Like when did he stop being Jerry Springer?
well, and he was sort of over in 2012, right?
Yeah. Oh God.
I mean, I know he still had like an online or YouTube show. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the household cuckoo crazy.
No, Jerry.
Do you think he's the one who introduced the "Be kind to each other" line at the end of the Jerry Springer show?
The devil.
Yeah.
Devil.
It's like, this shit needs some levity, bro. We need some, like, you
We gotta
guys
go
are
on a
messed
bang.
up.
Should we end in a prayer? No, not that, but
Let's say something nice.
Yeah. I mean, I may be the devil, but I'm not a complete dick.
I'm not an asshole.
So all right. Meanwhile, Danny causes the car he's in with Kerrigan to crash. He just grabs the steering wheel and yanks it.
We all have those powers.
Yeah. He tries to escape, but Kerrigan recaptures him and steals a couple's van.
Yeah. Does it run? Yeah. What an idiot.
Right.
Does it run? Nah, that's why we're living in it.
You got any good cassette tapes in there?
Like any relaxation mood? Just
Pure moods would be great.
pure moods right now. I just want to sit in the bath with my Chardonnay.
sail away, sail away. Back with Johnny and Nadia, he explains that the writer...
Jadia. Just call that.
That's their couple name. Jadia. Not Naughty Blaze. All right.
Well, there's no romantic relationship in this movie.
No, there's not. Which actually I appreciated that.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What to
Moreau
do.
and Johnny Blaze seem to be
They had a connection.
Mutual
there's-
admiration.
they share
It's a bit
some
of a-
moments.
Yeah.
Romance.
Yeah.
They drink wine together, you know.
Well, you're going to be attracted to whoever can exercise the demon
Yeah.
inside you.
Well, also, if it's Idris Elba,
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
He is something.
Idris
I know my
Elba.
effect I have
Idris
on
Elba
women.
wants to drink some fancy wine with you and have you confess your deepest, darkest secrets to him. Something's going
I'm in.
down. Yeah.
On one of the on the newest Chris Rock special, he talks about that, like being divorced and having to get back out on the scene and meet people and stuff. And he's like, and I was hanging out in a bar with my friend, and my friend's like, it's no big deal, just go and talk to her, it's fine, you don't have to be worried. And I was like, yo, Idris, not all of us look like you.
Right.
That was the friend who was just go talk to him, man.
Yeah. Oh, fucking Idris Elba. All right, so they let's see. He explains that the writer will go after Nadia as well, as he sees all sinners as the same. Yeah. Whether you download a song without paying for it or murder people, either way you're going to hell.
They should use the good place system, the point system. But
Right.
yeah, very convoluted.
Because it sounds like you can even accidentally commit some of these sins that you know, like I clicked the wrong thing, Mr. Ghost Rider. I didn't
I
want
bought
to
an
own
apple.
Yeah.
that. I didn't mean to download Pure Moods.
Sail away, sail away. All right. They
Every time. All right.
They only sell it on cassette now. What else?
Only.
What else was I supposed to do?
What else was I supposed to?
how was I supposed to get pure moods, Mr. Ryder? They arrive at an underground pig fighting club.
Where there's so much paparazzi. When the guy that they're looking for, but we're following up those steps. So many flash bulbs and so much photography. Do you want to be seen at the man hog fights?
It's a pig fighting club, like where people fight pigs, not pigs fighting each other.
That's high society in Romania, dude. I mean,
I guess.
I don't know what you guys expect.
Like it's a big premiere. This is this hog's first fight.
Yeah, no, this pig's a big deal. He had friends in high places.
He's fighting out of his weight class. It's a big weekend.
I'm sorry, Homer, but that pig had friends in high places. All right, so they rough up the guy, and he tells them that Kerrigan's making a weapons deal down at the old quarry.
Down at the quarry, where everybody does dirty deals.
Dirt Jeep.
Dirt.
At the quarry. The writer comes out and he races to the quarry where Kerrigan is buying missiles. For
the shot of him riding and like trying to keep the rider at bay looks very Raimi-esque to me.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It did.
Yeah, that did.
The screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Was my favorite.
Wow.
Yeah, the screaming. That's true.
Bruce Campbell would have been a great Ghost Rider in his younger days.
Yeah,
he could have pulled it off for sure.
So, all right. Ghost Rider arrives at the quarry. He
because Mr. Slate would be furious if he was late.
Right.
That's a Flintstone joke, kids.
If you
read a book
or don't read a book, watch a 55-year-old parody of the Honeymooners. Anyways,
wake up at 5 a.m. on Saturday.
Yeah.
So he fucks up Kerrigan's guys pretty good using a giant piece of mining machinery.
This was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. So, like, I liked how throughout this film, a number of times, different vehicles he's in become the Ghost Rider vehicle. Like, they get all flamey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could have been really cheesy, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I was just saying they did it sparingly enough.
Yeah.
With interesting enough vehicles.
Yeah.
This particular piece of equipment was called the Bagger 288 bucket wheel excavator.
Yeah.
Um,
digs into
built by a German company for mining.
Were they named Minecraft?
They were not.
Damn it!
They were named Rheinbraun. Was the mining company. Krupp was the company that built it. It was the heaviest land vehicle in the world from 1978 to 1995. Superseded in 95 by the Bagger 293.
Then it went on The Biggest Loser. Lost a lot of the weight.
If I'm not mistaken, if you take Mission Road south towards Green Valley, Sarita, I think you can see one of those on the backside of the mine.
Oh, wow.
From the road. Anyway.
So, all right, yeah.
But that was an awesome weapon. And they made it look more Ghost Rider-y. They focused on the chain. It had a bunch of chain links on it. And it felt Ghost Rider-y.
Yeah, it was cool. Like the effects throughout this, the style, like the stylistic choices, I really enjoyed it. It was really entertaining. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So Nadia and Ghost Rider get away with Danny.
So this is where they shoot the bullets in his mouth, and he shoots them back molten. And I loved that.
Yeah, that was cool.
There was a cool scene also when Nadia unties Danny. That guy Granick shows up, and she throws a knife at him. He catches it, and turns to look at her, and she's got a gun and just shoots him.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Distracted him with the knife.
Capable moment for Nadia.
Yeah, Nadia is no pushover. She can take care of herself.
Well, in the quarry, it's that classic bad guy movie thing where it's like, this bullet will get him. Okay, this bullet will. Okay, now this one then.
Oh, this
shot him
javelin bunker buster will do it.
It didn't.
Oh, it didn't. Let's try again.
Let's try again.
Well, I mean, what
I
else?
love how many of these do you need? How many people are you fighting?
Yeah.
Just one.
Just one.
Yeah. No follow-up questions.
Give me 4.
Yeah. So, all right. Ghost Rider's about to do his penitence stare on Nadia, but Danny commands him to stop, and he does, and turns back into Johnny Blaze. The next day, Johnny...
Just to point out, it's the penance stare, not the
sorry.
penitence.
I'm sorry, the penance stare.
The accurate.
The penitence stare is a legal term. Uses to file paperwork.
The next day, Blaze contacts Moreau to meet up with them. He bonds with little Danny at one of the many American-style truck stops with English language signage that do litter Eastern Europe.
Yeah. And
hey, Romanian trucks need to stop places.
yeah, they do. I mean,
They
like the
do,
Flying
but all
J.
the
Me
signs
so
were in
much.
English.
But what bothered me both times I watched this is over Nick Cage's right shoulder when he's talking to Danny is an extra that's an older man about the size of Rourke, and he's wearing a black overcoat and a hat. And both times I'm watching like, oh, that's got to be somebody. And I'm pretty sure it's an extra who couldn't help but look at Nick Cage during these shots because it's not. He is nothing. But yeah, she's constantly looking over.
Oh, extras. All right. So then back at the quarry, Rourke arrives. We're still at the quarry.
Well, not just Rourke. It's obviously a few hours after this battle. Who called the EMTs?
Right.
Why did the EMTs come to the quarry?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. But they were there.
Be like, yeah, our weapons deal went wrong. Can you come help us out, guys?
I think a couple guys are hurt. One guy got molten bullets to the face. Okay, sir, can you see if he's breathing?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's just one big hole now.
Yeah. My friend is no more.
So back at the quarry, Rourke finds a dying Kerrigan. He revives him, giving him a fun springtime makeover and the power of decay.
And darkness.
Yes, and darkness. Yeah. I know it's to match like the comic book character design, but like, why did his hair become long and blonde?
Yeah. That dishwater. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Out on the road, Blaze tells Danny that it hurts when he pees. And then they bond some more. Moreau catches up with them, and they all do the motorcycle riding, happy, fun family time together. Meanwhile, Kerrigan's coming for them. Apparently, you can't hurt a Twinkie.
Yeah.
They could have made that even more fun because he ate it through the wrapper and squeezed it in, and so you kind of think that's how he did it. But it would have been funny if he completely unwrapped it and held it and it didn't decay.
I thought
that's the joke.
I thought
about
that's
Twinkie?
yeah. I thought that's where they were going with it.
Yeah. But anyway.
Why didn't the ambulance decay?
Yeah. See, that's the thing is.
Whoa.
Okay, so it appears that he can turn the decay on and off at will. Otherwise, it makes no sense because he touches a lot of things that do not decay.
Right, but it seemed like when he was pulling the food out of the lunchbox, like the sandwich he pulled out decayed before he could eat it.
Right. So again, the only way it makes any sense is if he was doing that on purpose. Otherwise,
because we see him, he does decay metal and swords, big chains.
He decays many.
Maybe those things like biological stuff is more sensitive to decay.
But metal?
It's harder to turn off. Well,
Or
but
happens
Metal,
faster.
he's like amping it up. You know, he has to be very careful handling an apple. I don't know.
As
Well,
any of us
and-
do.
and later
The
on-
pointiest of fruits.
Later on, he's holding and touching Nicolas Cage and not decaying him, and he's waiting for Rourke to come over. So
Yeah.
he has to be able to turn it on and off.
Well,
Otherwise,
and early on, I noticed that he had one glove that was still intact, and then he had one that had the fingertips missing. And so I thought that that's what was happening. He had one that didn't make things decay. But no, later on, he uses the gloved hand as well.
that's the first thing that decays. The gloved hand decays the wood in the very first time he decays anything.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He's just got the gloves on then.
Yeah, it would have been really easy to make this clear, but
Yeah.
they didn't.
No.
It was a little convoluted.
Yeah, they did not make it clear at all. So, all right. They arrive at the secret monastery where the monks... This is much better than the other monastery, guys. Just believe me. This monastery is
believe me.
way better than the other monastery. The monks are going to take care of Danny and Nadia. Moreau takes Johnny down into some catacombs where he tells Johnny that the rider was an angel sent to protect the innocent, but it got corrupted by the devil to punish sinners.
And they used his name, Zarathos, which was from the comics.
Oh, that's cool. And that one monk looked like he had the same memento condition from the movie Memento.
Covered in tattoos.
Yeah, just help him remember the Bible.
Christopher
He
Lambert,
forgets
the
to do
Highlander. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Johnny goes into a cave where the spirit is taken away, and he's free of the rider.
That was a little, again, convoluted. That's all it took.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
Holy Communion and then locking yourself in.
So he comes out of the cave 3 days later. No, to find that the monks have betrayed them. They're going to kill Danny, as they see it as the only way to stop Rourke forever. Before they can do the deed, though, Kerrigan arrives and kills the monks and takes Danny. Sometime later, Nadia, Moreau, and Johnny survey the remains of the monks. This whole section was weird and unclear what exactly was happening to me, because Nadia, so Moreau and Johnny just got taken away like they were getting locked up, but if Kerrigan killed all the monks, then who unlocked the door to let them out of their cell? Or if they were never in a cell, what? I'm just really unclear as to what Moreau and Johnny were doing while Kerrigan was killing all the monks. Where were they? What were they
Moreau
doing?
was probably on a bender, I assume.
Yeah. He was in the discotheque.
So, yeah, there was just a really big, weird, empty spot there where we have no idea what the protagonists were up to while
No, and they just appear and then they ask what happened even.
Right? And
what happened
and there
out
were
here?
monks taking them away. So if there were monks guarding them, then those monks would still be alive, but they are nowhere to be seen. So I have no idea. Let's see. So Moreau explains that Rourke plans on inhabiting Danny's body. Ugh, that's not good. They will perform the rite that night just before dawn. It's going to be at the extra special rite having place, apparently.
Well, and did it say that sunrise is when he's the weakest? Dawn?
He being Rourke?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they
I
said
thought it was the beginning of the ceremony. I thought that's what they were implying. I don't know if it's
when
every
he's at his
sunrise.
weakest.
Yeah.
During the ceremony, he's weakest?
Yeah, as it begins, before he transfers anything into the boy. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it.
When he puts it in the boy, he gets weak.
No, I swore Nadia had said that. It has to take place the hour before dawn or whatever. He's at his weakest, but fine.
Yeah,
somebody
I don't know. I mean, honestly, it at this point it doesn't matter. None of this makes any sense.
No, I know, but he's the morning star.
Yeah.
the devil.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Twilight hours
but,
are kind of.
but
his-
he's not Lucifer. He's Mephistopheles.
That's true.
Oh yeah, so maybe
You're right.
maybe he has a different quadrant of the day.
It's like
Yeah, he's obviously
between-
a businessman.
between-
We see him catching a train.
Yeah. He's like, I'm that section where it's like the middle of the afternoon and you get sleepy.
Yeah, he's siesta man.
So, all right. They decide they're going to go after them and save Danny. They gather some weapons and head out. Meanwhile,
They, the location of the ritual they said was Uzak Gokten. Moreau said that it was the farthest place from heaven.
Oh, right.
That
yeah.
that name in Turkish actually means far from heaven.
That's interesting. I think he's wrong. It's clearly Bakersfield.
I don't know. You guys have never been to Yuma.
And the chant that they were doing to my ears sounded like, "Do you see another Molson?"
I thought they started like
Listen for
getting
a
a
while.
rhythm going, and I thought like it was going to break into like ooga chaka, ooga ooga.
Yeah, because they're at Red Rocks. You know.
All right, so let's see. They attack as the ritual's taking place. They interrupt it partway through. Kerrigan kills Moreau. They take Johnny captive, and they're about to kill Johnny when Danny, remembering that he has all the same powers as Rourke, puts the rider back inside Johnny.
Oh wait, there was the 2,000-year-old wine joke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Back before they attacked.
That wine has got to taste like piss.
I mean,
Oh,
geez,
terrible.
at a certain
It's
point, yeah,
well,
you're
first of all,
getting-
it's vinegar. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said this might be good on a salad.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Moreau's like, not bad. And he's been waiting for this. He's had his eye on this 2,000-year-old bottle of wine for a long
Right.
time.
Yeah.
He mentioned earlier. So
Excited.
he might have been a little disappointed.
That
But
is
he
an
still
ex-
thinks-
Roman
Well,
wine.
yeah, that is an extremely developed palate that man has, or an extremely undeveloped palate. At a certain point, it's impossible to tell which. With
Yeah,
foodies,
which vinegar?
like, yeah,
Yeah. Oh, good point.
yeah.
Fermented anchovies, delicious.
And yeah, exactly. Oh shit, I lost it. Move on.
All right, so all right, so the rider kills all the evil monks. Rourke and Kerrigan flee with Danny while Nadia and Ghost Rider chase them. Let's see. Ghost Rider catches up with them. He kills Kerrigan. He stops.
Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, we got a
Yeah.
Wilhelm.
120-41.
Oh, that's what I was gonna ask. So Danny could just like spew the power back into him. It kind of didn't Sergeant Kabukiman, wasn't that the same sort of way they did that?
Oh,
He kissed the power into him.
Yeah, sort of kissed it in. All right.
so all right. He's let's see. The rider sends Rourke back to hell, or at least to the center of the earth.
Yeah.
It pulls Danny out of the wreckage of the car that crashed as Nadia arrives. Danny is seemingly dead, but Johnny can feel the angel part of the rider inside him, and he brings Danny back to life.
Which is apparently why he can be Ghost Rider during the daylight hours.
I was wondering, yeah.
We cut to Johnny riding, but now he has white heavenly flames. Roll credits.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. It was quick to the point. Did what it needed to do, other than kind of slowing down in the second half.
Yeah.
Um,
And they wrapped it up quite quickly, it felt like.
They did. The end sequence was good. The end action sequence was fine. All of that. Just everything from the time they arrived at the second monastery through when they got to the rite taking place was kind of a slog, I thought.
It was, yeah. Agreed.
Yep. Pacing got a little weird when they were on the airport runway doing tricks too, which was fun. There was a lot of like comedy in that, but it also went on longer than it probably should have.
Yeah, for sure. All in all, I don't know. I kind of liked it more than the first one.
Oh, I like this
him. Yeah.
much more than the first one.
Yeah.
Same here.
We didn't have to deal with like Johnny Blaze trying to be Johnny Blaze, being like, oh, I'm a demonic hero, but I still want to jump motorcycles in front of a bunch of adoring fans.
Yeah, it was very like lean to the point. Like, we've got a job to do. We're going to do the job. Johnny's here. He gets on board fast enough.
He's haunted.
Yeah.
Right. And you're right. Like the first movie, it was almost half the movie probably before it was not about Johnny in his life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got some serious MCU vibes from this. The production quality, the actual like cinematography of it, the story even felt like it would have fit into a larger scale thing. They definitely learned from the preceding Marvel movies.
Yeah, they did.
Making this. I honestly, this fits into the MCU almost. Like, this would have been the worst MCU movie. But at the same time, like, it doesn't make it like not at that level. It was weird.
Yeah, it would fit into to the canon of
it wouldn't stand out a ton. Like, it wouldn't be super terrible standing out.
Well, that's why I'm interested to see how the Eternals goes, because that'll be a stretch for the average movie fan.
Well, and things like Blade coming back around. Yeah. I'm still holding out hope for a Norman Reedus Ghost Rider. I think that would be interesting.
That would be cool.
Kind of dour instead of this goofy Nick Cage Ghost Rider.
And
their treatment of Ghost Rider in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was good. That was a different version. Not Johnny Blaze, not Danny Ketch. I can't remember his name off the top
Robbie
of my head.
Robbie
Reyes?
Reyes, you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Uniform
Robbie
and
Reyes.
everything. Up until seeing this, he was the best looking depiction of Ghost Rider. Because he had like the hot rod striping on the skull that looked straight out of the comics. But there were some moments with the skull where I could see the like 80s horror influence.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where I forget who it was, Blackout or whatever, being like, "I'm not afraid of you," and he just keeps screaming at his face. I was like, "Fuck, man, this is a little scary, actually."
Yeah.
This is really weird.
There were moments when Ghost Rider was genuinely disturbing and slightly frightening. Yeah.
Yeah, the way that he moves. Somebody mentioned the Korean horror film, like twitchiness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There was a moment where he was like looking around. I was like, oh, fuck, this is unnerving. Yeah, they did a really good job of balancing that.
Well, when he first showed up, he kind of like swayed his head around, and then he did these weird dance moves. Before they decided to shoot him. I wasn't sure what that was. But
Did you guys notice at the very end, after he kills Rourke and all this stuff, he does the Wakanda Forever salute? He puts both hands over his chest and an X. I was like, well, Wakanda Forever, I guess, Nick Cage.
Right on.
That's probably just a Nick Cage mannerism that they caught. And they're like, well, it looks comic booky.
There was a moment, it was funny, I could tell a number of times I could tell when it was Nick Cage or not Nick Cage with like, or a stunt guy in the skull.
Right.
When just like little mannerisms, I'm like, oh, well, that's Nick Cage, clearly.
The twitchiness is clearly him darting around.
Yeah, and then other times it's like, yeah, this is obviously a stunt guy.
Yeah, just swagger.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, this guy just jumps bikes for a living.
Yeah.
Doesn't scratch at the inside of his body. He's trapped inside of Nick Cage.
Doesn't have weird, sudden sing-songy reads of certain lines for no readily apparent reason.
Yep.
It's his brand.
It is.
His brand.
It is. I can't believe this is our third Nick Cage movie.
Yeah.
Well, fourth if we're counting Face Off, which is available at patreon.com/harmlessentertainment.
And I was going to say that, Face Off was wacky in its own right, but that scene when he's the priest and he goes up behind the girl in the choir, that felt like all Nick Cage improvisation.
That was
dance moves.
100% Nick Cage improvisations, yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm forgetting what was the other one besides Ghost Rider and
Kick-Ass.
Face Off.
Kick-Ass.
That's right.
It's Big
Just
Daddy.
watched
Big Daddy.
Yeah. So the only unanswered question I guess I have a couple unanswered questions that we didn't get to. Some of them we did get to during the episode, but didn't Mephistopheles offer to take the writer out of him at the end of the first movie?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean,
And he refused.
he wanted to
saying
keep.
he's gonna fight him.
Yeah.
But after 8 years, maybe he was over it.
Yeah. 8 years later, he's like, "Fuck this."
He regretted that
Yeah.
decision.
Like I've been in the same position for 8 years. I'm not getting a promotion.
Yeah.
I'll just be stuck in this office forever.
Oh Jesus, no. All right. So and then the only other one. How did Kerrigan find the secret monastery? That was pretty unclear.
Yeah. Maybe he could sense the Ghost Rider.
Maybe, but then
Maybe ambulances just drive to quarries and out of the way desert places. And they know where to go.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways, that's all I had. Did any of you have any other unanswered questions?
No, I mean, I was going to ask, could he always walk around in daytime? But we kind of talked about that.
Yeah. I mean, when in the first movie, was he able to go out? He was able to go out in the daytime when he was Nick Cage, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he just not go. Ghost Rider was limited to nighttime.
Yeah.
He was in the first movie. Didn't we see a Ghost Rider horse?
Yes, Sam Elliott rode a Ghost Rider horse.
Yeah.
The first
The kid asked about a llama, and that's my unanswered question.
a camel, yeah.
Or a camel. When are we going to see a ghost camel?
Yeah.
America.
I'm still waiting.
It's 2020, and we still don't have a ghost camel.
Representation of ghost camels in media. Welcome to my TED Talk.
Ghost camel awareness.
We can put a man on the moon, but we can't put a Ghost Rider in a camel.
Where are our ghost hoverboards?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hollywood.
Yeah, does he like put on shoes and they become ghost shoes? Where does
When he's running, he has ghost shoes.
He uses his phone app to get one of those scooters, that are downtown.
The little electric ones.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, where is the line drawn?
It has flaming tires, but then after a little bit, it's like.
So what if it's on like a nylon hang glider? Does it burst into flames and then fall out of the sky?
What if he takes an Uber? Is it a
about
ghost
a
Uber?
two-person deerskin canoe?
What if he's riding a human centipede?
Riding a human,
What kind of centipede? A
on
human
my
one,
steed, on my steed.
My kingdom for a human.
Show me the meaning of haste. Okay. All right. You guys ready to rank this thing?
Sure, man.
Yeah.
All right. This is what we got going on. I have Ghost Rider, the first one, was at 57.
Okay.
I know it's going higher than that one. I don't
like
think
it
there's
better than the Incredible Hulk.
I kept thinking of the Incredible Hulk. That was the movie that
Yeah.
in my mind I went like, God, this is better than the Incredible Hulk.
It
somehow.
kind of was, yeah.
I think it was.
But again, I don't think it's better than the Rocketeer, Darkman, or the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Or Return
I think
of
it's better than
Small Things.
Constantine and The Mask. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's better than Constantine, absolutely. Better than The Mask, maybe. I don't think it's better than Superman 3. God, I hate our list.
I love it.
It's so
The worst
dumb.
deal we ever made
It-
was this list.
Still above Constantine?
Okay. I mean,
Sky High. How's
Yeah,
that?
I could go above Sky High. That was a charming movie, but
well, I mean, if I could see putting it above anything up to Super.
I mean, I'm with Brian. It felt like an MCU movie, so maybe it wasn't great in every aspect, but I felt like that's what I was watching.
Yeah, it felt
Compared
much
to
more
Kurt
modern.
Russell.
Yeah, I don't know. Al, what are your opinions? You've been pretty quiet so far.
Oh, I don't have any opinion.
I mean, I guess it's not better than Meteor Man, because when they were in the quarry, I was like, man, if the baby lords were here,
They would mess things up,
just cocking guns and then throwing them.
right?
Fucking baby lords.
Baby lords.
All right, so, all right, are we saying it's better than the Incredible Hulk?
We're saying that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it better than the Green Hornet?
I could say that. I
I could also
Yeah.
say that.
Green Hornet was, yeah.
Better than Chronicle?
Maybe, but not better than Super, I don't think.
I don't think the story was better than Chronicle.
No. And
That's
and
true.
Chronicle had a very unique conceit. Well, I mean, not unique really, but for a superhero
So-
movie, it was a.
Yeah.
In between the Chronic and the Green Hornet.
All right, we can do that.
I can do that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so they're going to put it at number 32, in between the Chronicle and the Green Hornet. That is a wrap for Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. And boys, that means next week we are going to be watching The Avengers.
Oh.
I've never seen this.
I've never seen it with my eyes closed. I've seen it every other way you can. Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we're looking at a poster. What is Captain America standing on?
Justice.
Is he standing so erect that he is defying gravity?
He's
Maybe.
yeah, he's
He's standing on the backs of all those fallen invisible soldiers.
Every Private Ryan he didn't save.
that's right. He's standing on all our hopes and dreams.
Justice.
So
He's got 1 foot perched on Scarlett Johansson's rock hard buttocks,
Yeah.
and the other, I don't know.
on Thor's
out the
forearm.
On his rock hard forearms.
Yeah. So that is next week, guys. Exciting. The Avengers. Until then, thank you all for hanging out with us on Harmless Phosphorescence. This has been your host, Throw Smiley, and I'm leaving to go to a much better monastery.
I'm Josh Cece, and the only thing that can hurt you and your mother now is me.
I'm Brian Lesh, and you can find me in hell for all the illegal piracy I've done.
I'm Alaric Weber, and I'm going to go work on my decision making.
Me too. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.